Is in the studio with us, and Brenda, you've got a couple of gentlemen with you here today.
I do.
You brought it with you, Wesley Wertz from the American Legion here in Indiana, and Greg Marsh, who's the new commander at the Indiana American VFW Legion, right over there. There you go. I got it. So a big event over the weekend, Brenda,
Yes.
at the Mack Park Pavilion.
Yes. We had our annual Veterans Appreciation Day, sponsored by the Patty Streams Warman at the Register and Recorder's Office, my office, the American Legion, and the VFW. We sponsored that. We've done that for the last 4 years. And it's an event that we hold just to say thank you to all of our veterans for all the services that they have done through the years. It was a good event. We had a nice turnout. We had probably between 200 and 300 people there.
Oh, that's good.
It was just a nice day to honor our veterans. And then we had music with Anthony Fraser. He was our MC. And Randy Degenkolb had a sound equipment there. We had bands there. We had a good time. It was a great time.
That's good. And gentlemen, of course, you can weigh in on this as well. It must be very meaningful to veterans to know that, especially here in Indiana County, there's just a level of appreciation that I'm sure there is a great level of appreciation in other counties, but here in Indiana County, it's very special, isn't it?
Yes, as I was talking with several people that showed up that day, Indiana has this undying appreciation for their veterans, and they come together every year for it, through the vendors, through the basket donations, through the food, everything like that. So it's always an impressive event, especially whenever you see all the veterans' smiles on their faces and they're just sitting around having a good time. As a matter of fact, we had a nice surprise this year. We had a 98-year-old World War II veteran show up.
Oh, wow.
He was recognized with Brenda at the mic and everything, so.
Yeah, just amazing. Greg, of course, with the veterans of VFW, I know it's meaningful to the VFW as well, and to be able to participate in something like this.
Well, it was good to see some new faces, people that I didn't know that were veterans, and meet some of the local leadership in town as well. And it was a good day to get out and thank everybody that had served and recognize that.
Yeah, it's always good to have good weather for that too, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. All right, Brenda, let's talk about some of the issues that veterans are dealing with here in Indiana County. There have been traditional issues that I know the county has gone to great lengths to answer. Housing is one of those, medical care, just a number of issues. Where do we stand right now as an overall picture of how vets are faring, how people are doing here in Indiana County?
I think our veterans have a lot of services here in Indiana County. We have our new clinic. That's been really, really helpful to our veterans. They can come here now instead of going everywhere, other places. They are now able to use the clinic for their blood work and things like that. So that's really helped out. And of course, we have our Clinton Street apartments that we have 5 or 6 veteran families. One's a family and the other one's individual veterans in there. That's helped our homelessness. And then we have the Veterans Parsonage for emergencies. We have Pathway Shelter. And we have a lot of great organizations that help out and get all these programs together. We have our Veterans Providers Group. We meet once a month to talk about issues with our veterans. So we have a good grip on what's going on in our county. I think we're really special in that respect because we're one of the very few counties that have a group like that. That get together and talk about veterans issues.
I want to talk about that VA clinic because the way that I'm very impressed with the way that they operate there. And I see Greg shaking his head. They really do care, number one.
Oh, absolutely.
They put people at ease. The staff people they have there. It doesn't matter, what services are offered as much as it does that the people who go there know that they're being cared for by compassionate people. And they really have that there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are. It's the caring and compassion.
Yeah.
And, we know if they can't do something for you, they're going to pass it off to the other VA facilities that can help them out. They do not hesitate to do that. I've seen them take people from there, even to Indiana Hospital, if it's an emergency, things like that. They do care for our veterans, and there's a great quality of people out there. We're really blessed. We really are.
Greg, Wes, I know that you've heard stories you have to have heard stories from these people about dealing with the VA here in Indiana and what it means to them to have a facility so close.
Right, and even organizations that Brenda does with the DAV vans, the drivers themselves, just the conversation they have with the people coming to and from the hospitals and the clinics, and helping them find their way. Just the stories you hear back from them and how appreciative they are of those volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, what do you hear from people at the VFW about the VA clinic itself?
a lot of what you have said, the caring aspect and the professionalism of the team out there is reflected in the words that you had mentioned. I hear nothing but good things about the staff out at the clinic.
That's interesting because on a national level, we hear horror stories about the way that the VA is operating. But here locally, it's really indicative. You get good people, you're going to get good results. And that seems to be what's happening here in Indiana County.
A lot of problem is the veterans don't know how to navigate the system. Mm-hmm. That's a big issue. And I always encourage them, come into my office, we'll help you. We'll get you set up. We'll get you moving in the right direction. The clinics are more than happy to help you. These organizations will steer you in the right direction. But a lot of it is they're not sure how to get things done. Mm-hmm. But, we're more than willing to help you out. So anyone out there having a problem with, getting into the facility or getting things done, let us know. We'll guide you in the right direction.
Now, we've talked with you before, Brenda, about this. Indiana County's Veterans Affairs Office is so good. And you're a big part of that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You do so much good thing. Is it that way in other counties? Are there county administered offices that operate so efficiently in other counties?
Some do, some don't. It all depends. Each county does. We're obligated, of course, to file claims and things like that. But the outreach and the other things we do out of the goodness of our heart. Mm-hmm. Some of the counties do an appreciation day, and that's actually how I got into this. As I was up in Fayette County. Madonna Nicola, who's a director up there, she invited me up to see their Veterans Appreciation. And I thought, wow, this is really great. A big picnic for these guys. They loved it. It's getting together with each other. Mm-hmm. And it was so awesome. I said, we got to do that. So when I come back, I talked to Patty Streams, and she says, hey, I'll be happy to help you. Yeah. So that's how it all got started. We got the VFW and the American Legion involved in it. But, we try and reach out to our veterans and do the right thing for them. They've done so much for us. They really have. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned monthly meetings, correct?
Yes.
To deal with veterans' concerns.
Right.
Tell me how that works. How does that function?
Diane Overman is the administrator of that program for the Veterans Providers Group. We meet out at the Career Link, or the third Wednesday of each month. And she has been great to bring all the veterans groups together. There's people from the hospital there, the suicide prevention. There's just a whole group of us that we all work with veterans and help veterans. Mm-hmm. We meet, discuss what's going on, how we can help our veterans, and just keep us updated on what's going on throughout the month. Yeah. So it's been great.
That's terrific.
It really has.
That's terrific. Let's talk about the American Legion and the VFW and how they help veterans. I think people might have an idea that a Legion, VFW, that they're basically just social organizations where guys can get together and relax a little bit. It's much more than that, isn't it, Wes?
Right, that's a big stigmata that we've been overcoming for years and stuff like that. I think it's just a bunch of men just sitting around a cloud of smoke, but that's really not what it is. That's a sidebar of it, But we do other organizations, like we provide for Pathway Health, we provide for the Veterans Appreciation Picnic. The VFW and myself and other organizations have also started the Wreaths for Indiana County Veterans, where we place a wreath at the entrance of every cemetery in Indiana County at the second Saturday of December. Mm-hmm. And just day-to-day operations, like we'll do bingos and stuff like that to help raise money for different charitable organizations around our veterans. So, I mean, it's an everyday thing is different, and it's all the organizations coming together as one.
Yeah, it's more than just swapping war stories, although that's a big part of what you do.
That's true.
Because in the exchange of your experiences as military members, and Greg, you can weigh in on this, in those exchanges, people find common ground, and they might find a way to deal with common issues that they're experiencing now.
That's one of the things that makes the VFW part of the community, is that we try and connect people with agencies like Brenda's here in town, as well as the clinic. IUP, they have the veterans office over at the school there, so we try and keep everybody on the same page with a lot of the different issues that come up, a lot of the new veterans that are returning home and those kinds of things. I'd kind of like to share just one small thing about the VFW, but we've donated $42,000 just in the last year of dollars of contributions to veterans that do need help, and so that's one thing that we're very proud of and we'd like to share.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And through the various fundraising efforts that you have, there's the opportunity to reach out and veterans helping veterans. which is a wonderful thing. Brenda, we need to make sure that everybody is helping veterans because they're
That's
the
right.
people who literally have stood in the line of defense for you and for me and for everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so anything on the schedule coming up that we need to know about? I know the Walk for a Wonderful Life. Veterans have they're always there at the Walk for a Wonderful Life, which is coming up next month. That's the suicide prevention, and there's always information there. And
Right.
information is a big part of what VFW, American Legion, and the Veterans Affairs Office do. Getting information to guys and gals.
Right, and our Veterans Providers Group does have a page, and I'm not sure what the link is. It's just Veterans Providers, I guess. And they have an update of everything that's going on all the time. That's updated. Diane updates that religiously. So, you know, if you want to know about any event in Indiana County, it's usually on the Veterans Providers website.
Terrific, terrific.
So.
Gentlemen, anything on the schedule coming up soon we need to know about?
I would just share our VFW's webpage is VFW Post 1989 at the Facebook page. So we try and keep everybody current on information as well. So state level, local level, national.
All right, and Wes?
The next major upcoming event that I can think of to honor our veterans is Veterans Day, November 11th. This year falls on a Sunday, so therefore we'll be doing the parade on that Monday.
Okay.
In order to have respect for the churches and everything like that. That's the next big event, so flyers will be circulating here soon, and I'll make an appointment to come talk to you about that.
There you go. There you go. Thanks all for coming in to visit with us today. It's an important topic that we keep folks up to date on the veterans.
Thank you, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160, 101.1 FM.